Fever finally put the Chicago Sky away.
Just put hands and feet on the Chicago Sky.
Fever spank them every time they play. Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky.
Chicago Sky, they were overmatched.
Caitlin Clark didn't play.
Caitlin Clark's still out for the Fever. And once again, the Fever spanked the Sky.
But she still stole the show.
This is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Caitlin Clark right here, signing autographs. Look at these fans.
Signing 200-plus autographs, taking over Angel Reese's home court, and watching the Fever dominate the Sky. If you stand with Caitlin, drop a 100% in the comments right now.
Caitlin Clark, in general, so popular.
Clark has firmly established herself as the biggest name in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark, she's going to play for 10 years. You got 10 years of price. This is the worst she's ever going to be. So I think they have all the leverage, or most of the leverage.
The Indiana Fever didn't just win, they made a statement. Rolling into Chicago without their biggest star, Caitlin Clark.
Indiana Fever just put hands and feet on the Chicago Sky, who continue to be the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league.
The expectation was uncertainty, but what happened instead was a performance so commanding, so energizing.
Caitlin Clark's out. Beyond that, the Sky were there, and Reese was there, and the Fever spanked them.
It felt like a message was being sent across the entire league.
The Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky. Fever spank them every time they play.
We're not just Caitlin Clark. We're a team built to dominate, and that domination started the moment they stepped into the United Center. From the opening minutes, you could feel the shift. The Chicago Sky, already missing Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith, looked like a team scrambling for answers.
Sky really decimated by injuries, to be fair. Rachel Banham carrying the slack a lot for them. But Caitlin Clark's still out for the Fever. And once again, the Fever spanked the Sky.
Meanwhile, the Fever came out poised, aggressive, and laser-focused. Despite Caitlin Clark being sidelined, her presence never left the building. Before the game even tipped off, she had already signed over 200 autographs, spending nearly 20 minutes working through a sea of fans.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena.
Most of whom weren't even wearing Sky jerseys. The crowd, loud, energized, mostly Fever faithful.
There were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark.
This was supposed to be Angel Reese's arena, but Caitlin Clark turned it into her own.
Caitlin Clark right here, signing autographs. Look at these fans. Are you kidding me?
Here's Caitlin Clark signing autographs for 2 minutes, 20 seconds. There are literally, people are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Walk into your trap, take over your trap. Wasn't just a tweet. It was reality. The Fever set the tone early. Kelsey Mitchell came out firing, drilling shot after shot like it was target practice.
Kelsey Mitchell, 7 for 10 from the three-point line, off the start, 8 points quick. You knew, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today.
This was the Kelsey Pistol Mitchell show. She lit them up. She was on fire.
She dropped 13 points in the first quarter alone.
Kelsey Mitchell with the amazing game, man. 35.6 assists, 3 steals, and 7 threes.
Matching the entire Chicago Sky's scoring output in that frame.
Kelsey Mitchell, get this, folks. 13 points in the first quarter. The Sky scored 13 points in the first quarter. She literally matched the entire Chicago Sky team in quarter one, and this still was a game with 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left in the game. It was still a game.
That wasn't just dominance, that was embarrassment. Mitchell wasn't just hot, she was untouchable, reading Chicago's defense like a book and punishing every misstep. Chicago tried to respond. They pushed back late in the game and cut the lead to single digits with just over 2 minutes left. But the Fever didn't flinch. Without their floor, General Caitlin Clark, it was Kelsey Mitchell who stepped up, silencing the comeback attempt with clutch shot after clutch shot.
Kelsey Mitchell says, slow your roll. Slow down there. You thought you were going to come back in. No, you're not coming back into this game. Not now, not ever.
The Sky never recovered. The difference in energy was undeniable. Indiana played like they had something to prove, and they did. They showed they can win without their star. They showed depth. They showed fire.
The Fever are starting to really find their stride. They're really starting to find their stride. Obviously, they're able to get into a little bit of a rhythm without Caitlin Clark.
And they showed Chicago and Angel Reese, even in her absence, that this isn't their moment. This belongs to Caitlin Clark and the team that's riding her wave. When a team can walk into enemy territory without its leader, command the court, control the crowd, and leave with a double-digit win, that's not just a win, that's a takeover.
Looks like the Fever finally going to put the Chicago Sky away. 29 seconds left. It is 93-78.
This wasn't just a loss for the Chicago Sky. It was a full-blown embarrassment, a humiliation, a collapse that happened in their own arena on a night that was supposed to be about pride and performance. But instead of defending their home, the Sky looked disorganized, defeated, and overwhelmed. And here's the kicker. Angel Reese wasn't even on the court to witness it. She was out with a back injury, and the team she was supposed to lead was dismantled piece by piece.
No Angel Reese today. I don't believe it would have mattered.
Let's be honest. Even if Angel Reese had suited up, the outcome likely wouldn't have changed. This wasn't just about missing a player. This was about a team with no identity, no chemistry, and no answer for what was coming. From the very beginning, Chicago looked sluggish. Their rotations were slow, their defense was non-existent, and their offensive rhythm was completely flat. It's one thing to lose. It's another to look like you don't belong on the same floor. That's what happened here. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell played like she had a personal vendetta against the entire Sky roster. And maybe she did. With Caitlin Clark out, Mitchell stepped up not just as a scorer, but as the heart and soul of this Fever squad.
Watch these screens.
Coming off the screen by Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell just get a little hop into her shot, drains it with that side rotation, and then here, how many times have we seen her snake a screen today? Out of it, whether it's getting right to the...
I want you to think about the way Aaliyah sets screens for Caitlin. Olay, immediate call for the ball, Caitlin double team. And when I say Olay, I'm talking about, like, for those that don't know, like a matador.
She finished with 35 points on an absurd 12 of 19 from the field and a scorching 7 of 10 from three-point range.
35 points. It's impressive.
12 of 19 from the floor, 7 of 10 from 335 points.
They still have Kelsey Mitchell in the backcourt, and Kelsey Mitchell continues to just cook. She is just such a fun player to watch. Obviously, somebody who gets to shine even more. It's not like she didn't shine next to Clark, but, has to carry the offensive and scoring load in Caitlin Clark's absence. And big shot after big shot, she was absolutely cooking.
That's efficiency you rarely see even from the league's best. And it wasn't just how many points she scored. It was how she scored them. Step-back threes, pull-up jumpers, slithering drives through the paint. She had the Sky spinning, and somehow they did nothing to stop it. No traps, no doubles, no adjustments. They guarded her like she was any other player, and she made them pay over and over and over. Every time the Sky showed a flicker of life, Mitchell extinguished it. In the fourth quarter, when Chicago cut the lead to single digits, she came off a deflected pass and nailed a cold-blooded three. Just like that, momentum gone. You could see the frustration on Chicago's faces. You could feel the desperation in their body language.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, while she's got a break from the action, doesn't get a break from the autographs. This was at the United Center. She's signing a bunch of autographs. Does this qualify as taking over a trap?
But it was too late. The Fever weren't just winning the game, they were owning the narrative. Camila Cardoso had a decent stat line on paper, a double-double with 12 points and 12 rebounds. But her presence was meaningless. Turnovers piled up, her footwork was exposed, and she looked passive in the paint. No fire, no leadership. The Sky's coaching staff made no real adjustments, and that's exactly why the Fever were able to maintain control from start to finish. And while Kelsey Mitchell was doing surgical damage on offense, the Fever's defense was just as brutal. Chicago turned the ball over again and again, including 7 from Rachel Banham alone.
Defensively, they came out ready to play. I think they had like 9 turnovers in like the first quarter or something like that. Defensively, we did the job.
The Fever exploited every mistake and converted them into points with ease.
And Rachel Banham, she was going absolutely nuts out there. 26 points, shots 8 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 11 from the three, took care of the line, 5 assists, had 7 turnovers. They don't necessarily have a point guard, man.
Ariel McDonald pressured ball handlers. Michaela Timpson disrupted passing lanes. Even Chloe Beebe, who had barely just joined the team, came in like she'd been there all season, hitting back-to-back threes and helping stretch the floor. Every single Fever player looked locked in. Every Sky player looked lost. And you know what made it worse? The crowd. It wasn't behind Chicago. It was behind Caitlin Clark. And she wasn't even in uniform. That's what makes this loss so devastating for the Sky. They didn't just get beat. They got beat while their arena cheered for the opposing team's injured star. That is psychological warfare. That is complete collapse. Angel Reese might not have played, but her absence only amplified the pressure.
Fever finally put the Chicago Sky away.
Just put hands and feet on the Chicago Sky.
Fever spank them every time they play. Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky.
Chicago Sky, they were overmatched.
The team that was supposed to represent her, the one built around her name and her image, just got stomped. There was no spark, no grit, no identity. It's as if the moment they realized Caitlin Clark was in the building, they folded. Whether it's fear, pressure, or just plain dysfunction, it showed, and the Fever capitalized. This wasn't just a regular season win, it was a message. Without Caitlin Clark, Indiana still dominated. Without Angel Reese, Chicago crumbled. And when you compare those outcomes side by side, the difference is night and day. One team is rising, with or without their star. The other spiraling and dragging their stars down with them. At this point, the Chicago Sky aren't just losing games. They're losing control of their identity. And watching Caitlin Clark command the crowd from the sidelines only made the humiliation sting deeper.
The third week in August as a realistic time frame for Clark to get back in practice, get back in a rhythm, get back out there with her teammates, and get back ramped up.
If the first 2 acts of this beatdown weren't already enough, the final blow came from where Chicago least expected it, the rest of Indiana's roster. Because while Kelsey Mitchell lit the match, it was Indiana's rising stars who poured gasoline all over the court and set Chicago's reputation on fire.
Money Mitch put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons.
And what's more brutal than getting crushed by one superstar? Getting outclassed by the entire lineup, even the new and lesser-known names. That's exactly what happened. No Angel Reese, no Caitlin Clark, and yet Chicago still looked like a junior varsity team trying to survive a varsity onslaught. Let's start with Michaela Timpson, a name not yet known by casual fans. But after this performance, she deserves every bit of recognition. Timpson didn't just play well. She played with fire.
Michaela Timpson continues to show every time you put her in the game, every time you give her some actual quality minutes, she will not disappoint. And today, Michaela Timpson had her best game as a WNBA player.
With fury, with something to prove, she was everywhere, grabbing rebounds above the rim, deflecting passes, forcing steals, bullying defenders in the paint, and scoring with precision. She dropped 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting, added 4 rebounds, 3 steals.
Some big minutes from Michaela Timpson in this one. 14 points, 3 steals.
14 points, 3 steals, 1 assist, 4 rebounds.
And brought an energy that left Chicago rattled. One play in particular summed it all up. She rose up and grabbed a rebound straight off the rim in midair. No bounce. Something you rarely see in the WNBA. That kind of athleticism stood out like a rocket in a cloudy sky. She was so explosive and agile, people were comparing her to Inspector Gadget. Every time you thought she'd reached her limit, she'd stretch just a bit more and make another ridiculous play. And it wasn't just flash, it was smart disciplined basketball. Timpson's defense shut down the paint. Camila Cardoso, a towering figure for Chicago, was rendered useless in the second half. Whatever damage she did early, Timpson erased it. Cardoso finished with 5 turnovers and disappeared when it mattered most.
AB, shut it down. Shut it down. Cardoso was a non-factor offensively in that second half. Non-factor.
Her body was on the floor, but her mind looked checked out, and Timpson took full advantage.
Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston and Michaela Timpson really put in the work today.
But the breakout performances didn't end there. Enter Chloe Beebe, the Fever's newest signing, brought in on a 7-day contract and instantly proving why she deserves more. With the poise of a veteran and the confidence of someone who'd been waiting for this moment, Beebe stepped in and delivered immediately. 2 quick threes, 1 catch and shoot, 1 pull-up.
Chloe Beebe, who came into the game, hit back-to-back threes, pull-up, bang, catch and shoot, bang.
And just like that, she had 8 points in under 12 minutes.
Chloe Beebe, who makes her debut with the Fever in limited minutes. In 11 minutes, 8 points for Chloe Beebe, 2 of 4 from 3.
She spaced the floor, kept defenders honest, and played her role to perfection. Caitlin Clark, sitting on the bench, leapt up to cheer when Beebe scored. The entire bench erupted.
Caitlin Clark's reaction to Chloe Beebe's
gives it up, Chloe
three-pointer. Jumping up off her, Sophie, the girls on the bench going crazy.
This wasn't just a player making a debut. This was a team showing that its depth runs deeper than anyone thought. Aaliyah Boston, the centerpiece of this Fever roster outside of Caitlin Clark, put in a clinic as well. Her stat line was clean. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists.
35 points, wait for it, folks. 3 steals, wait for it, folks. 6 assists. Showing the full game.
2 steals, 2 blocks.
All-around game from Aaliyah Boston.
And only 3 turnovers.
Aaliyah Boston, 14 and 11, 6 assists. Something about Boston's game I'm not that impressed with these days.
But what stood out more than the numbers was her control. Boston didn't force anything. She played within the offense, anchored the defense, and most importantly, dominated her matchup against Cardoso. The same Cardoso who was once hyped as a future WNBA anchor was simply outworked and outplayed. Boston moved her around with ease, blocked her out of position, and slipped passes through double teams with court vision that few bigs possess. And while Kelsey Mitchell got the scoring spotlight, Boston kept the engine running. Every time Chicago looked to trap or recover, Boston was there, either cleaning up the glass or finding the open player. And let's not forget Ari McDonald. She had a quiet but effective 10 points and 4 assists.
A good game from Ari McDonald as well.
She gave the team pace, attacked the rim when the defense got lazy, and helped break the press when Chicago got desperate. Even Lexi Hull got in on the action, hitting clutch buckets and diving for loose balls like it was Game 7 of the finals.
Lexi Hull come flying in out of nowhere like Randy Orton delivering an RKO.
And Sophie Cunningham, though not sharp offensively, brought her usual fire, sparking a brief tussle with Michaela Onyenwer that reminded Chicago the Fever weren't backing down from anyone. But maybe the most telling part of this humiliation was what happened off the stat sheet. Indiana's bench looked energized, united. Every player celebrated each other. There was chemistry, joy, a sense of purpose. Meanwhile, Chicago looked defeated from the second quarter on. Shoulders slumped, no communication. Players staring off into space after turnovers. You could tell they had no plan, no leadership, no spark. Even the coaching staff looked like they were simply waiting for the game to end. It's not just about one loss. It's about what this game symbolized. This was supposed to be Angel Reese's team. This was supposed to be her year, her court, her fan base. And instead, Caitlin Clark didn't even suit up and still managed to completely overshadow everything.
Caitlin Clark still out for the Fever, and once again, the Fever spanked the Sky.
This is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Caitlin Clark right here signing autographs. Look at these fans.
From the fans in the stands to the energy on the bench, the Indiana Fever owned every single part of this night. The game, the moment, the message, it was all theirs. And the scoreboard backed it up. Indiana shot 47% from the field, made all 16 of their free throws, dished out 26 assists, dominated the turnover battle, owned the glass, controlled the tempo. They didn't just beat Chicago, they dismantled them, took their pride, took their arena, and made it clear that even when Caitlin Clark isn't playing, her team is locked, loaded, and lethal. So the question now isn't just what's next for Chicago, it's whether Angel Reese will even want to walk back into that locker room after watching her team collapse this hard. Because while Caitlin Clark was smiling, laughing, and signing autographs in the crowd, the rest of her team was out there making sure the world knows. This is the Fever's league now. Whether Clark is on the court or not, they're here to run it.
What was the saying for the Fever last year? Fever rising?
And after this game, Chicago, they're just trying to survive it.
You see more injuries when you don't have a chance to recover, but it's not like, individual teams are the only ones that deal with it. This is a league-wide collective issue. So, and I also think, you see the NBA, for example, has a similar cadence, but they've got 30 teams and, they're not quite as much crisscrossing time zones, crisscrossing the country. So it's the challenge of the footprint of our schedule, no doubt.
The Indiana Fever didn't just win, they sent a warning. Without Caitlin Clark on the floor, they walked into Angel Reese's city and dismantled her team from top to bottom.
They are now doing enough where taking off the pressure from Caitlin Clark to return even more so she can come back at full strength, moving up the standings a little bit, only a game behind.
Kelsey Mitchell lit them up. The young stars showed out, and the sky had no answers. And through it all, Caitlin still stole the spotlight without even dribbling a ball. This wasn't just a game, it was a takeover. If you believe Caitlin Clark is the future of the league and just witnessed her team prove it, make sure to hit that like button and comment 100% if you stand with her.